Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers, author of The Perception Diet, and today we have the latest episode of Real Talk for Lightworkers, which I have titled, I Am Not a Guru, Please Do Not Follow Me. Now, before I get into this, I don't necessarily think that anyone out there thinks that I'm a guru, and that's not really the point of this video. However, I wanted to make another video about gurus and this kind of idea of there being someone outside of you who knows more about you and more about your path and more about what you need than you do. And I've kind of made many of those videos before, so I needed a different title. So that's kind of why I chose that title. So that is what we're going to be talking about today, is this idea of guru stuff. And the reason that I wanted to make another video on it is because I still see so much out there, this idea that there is someone or something that we need as a human species or as individuals that is going to help heal us or save us or fix us or change us, like on all these different levels, in health, in wellness, in spirituality, in emotional work, in our jobs, in the financial area. We are constantly looking for a guru, for someone outside of us, for someone to fix us and save us and change us. And this is just very, very much perpetuated to the point where we don't even notice that we're doing it anymore. Okay? So, for instance, sometimes I get comments on my channel that say, like, you've changed my life, or you're changing my life, or your teachings are so whatever. And I always turn it around and I say, no, you changed your life, right? You are the reason that if I say anything, if it affects you, if it changes your life, if your life changes, if you get any positive benefit from hearing anything in these videos, it's because you took the information and you applied it, all right? And you did all the heavy lifting. I sat here for 20 minutes and did video, and that's it. That's really not doing anything for you or your life, really, right? Unless you take the concept, you think about it, you ponder it, you explore it inside of yourself, you act on it, you change your life in some way because of that, you find results, you continue on down that path, you make discoveries, you make you have revelations, you have discoveries, that is what changed your life, okay? And so I'm not even just trying to be like overly humble or anything like that. It's really that I genuinely know that I am not ever going to change anybody's life. Just like no doctor can make you better, right? They can give you a pill, but they can't make you swallow it. They can give you, like a nutritionist can give you a meal plan, but they can't make you go to the grocery store and purchase the groceries and cook the food and put that food inside of your mouth and to digest it, right? You do all of that. And so the kind of grander context of what I'm wanting to bring to you today in this video is that moving forward, I don't think that, this is not a black and white thinking kind of idea, okay? This is not me saying never listen to another spiritual teacher, never go to the doctor, never listen to anybody else, never listen to videos, just do everything by yourself from now on. That's not what I'm saying. All right? We absolutely are connected. We are interconnected and we are interdependent, right? We definitely can offer things to each other, right? We can spark ideas. We can spark intuitions. We can spark memories. We can make suggestions to one another of try this or maybe try that, or this thing kind of helped me, or this was my experience. Maybe you have a similar experience and therefore, what I did might be able to have some benefit for you. We can absolutely do that, okay? So this is not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Either we have gurus who are special and unique and have something that I don't have and I have to follow them and kind of believe that they are going to do something for me extra special and amazing that I couldn't do for myself, or I don't listen to anyone and I just do everything by myself and I never read another book and never listen to another video ever again. It's neither of these things, right? We want to come to this middle place where we can understand that we are all connected. We all have the same access. But of course, Some of us are at different points on our journey. Some of us have had different experiences. Some of us have different talents and skills that we bring to the table, right? Different modalities that we are adept at, right? We definitely know that there are some people who have, some intuitive giftings or some like medical intuitiveness or whatever. And again, when we look at stuff like this, I think what we really need to see is that that's not really that person having something you don't have access to, okay? That's that person having an interest in that. Like, that's a personality persuasion, right? That they have developed those skills and that they bring those skills to the world, okay? So, like, for instance, with someone who claims to be a medical medium, again, I don't want us to look at this person like, wow, he knows something about my body that I could never have figured out on my own, okay? Because that isn't true. You live inside of your body. You absolutely have the capacity to figure out what's going on with you without necessarily having the help of someone else to tell you exactly what it is, right? It may take you longer, and you may have to develop skills that you don't have right now, but the ultimate truth is that you could figure that out for yourself, okay? The medical medium simply has had a lifetime where that was a filter, right? Like a filter blown in them, that they could perceive that stuff about themselves and about other people just kind of naturally, right? And then they developed it because they were interested, okay? And so what I'm saying here is that I really believe that all of these spiritual powers and all of these giftings and anything that we see in someone else is something we could develop in ourselves. It's just sometimes we're not interested, right? It's kind of like the same thing as everybody could probably learn to make pottery. Everyone could probably learn how to lay foundations to build a house. Everyone could probably learn these things, but most people don't want to, right? And so we have those people out there who do want to do those things, and they do them for us, but they are not more special or more amazing or having a gifting necessarily that's so much more than what you have, okay? And this is where we kind of want to bring these two worlds together, where we don't worship people and we don't idolize people and we don't put people above ourselves as though they have something we don't have, nor do we put people below ourselves and say like, no, fuck everyone, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. We have this middle place, right, where we're saying we understand that, yeah, of course, other people have gifts, right? Other people have skills. Other people, we're interconnected. We all have something to offer the whole, right? And it is in our offering what we have to offer the whole that the whole grows and expands. But ultimately, whatever it is that expert or that guru or that person offers to you, right? It's only by you taking it and taking it on and making action steps based on that information or based on whatever it is that they offer you, that change actually occurs in your life, right? So ultimately, foundationally, fundamentally, whatever it is that someone gives you is really only as good as what you are willing to do with it, okay? And again, I really want to make room for this idea that we are all unique and that we all have different and special gifts, right? I don't want to discredit that, and I'm not saying that doesn't exist, right? I'm not saying that everyone should just become a medical medium or everyone should just become a doctor or everyone should just become a spiritual teacher, because that's not what interests everybody, right? What I am saying is that when we start to look at human psychology and human evolution and the way that humans work and how we work as an interconnected web of society, and I think we're going to start seeing this more and more and more based on kind of just need, that the climate of our culture has changed, and I'll get into what I'm talking about here in a second, but that we're going to see that as each individual kind of awakens to the thing that matters to them, right? The skills that they naturally are inclined towards, and the things that they want to explore and the things that they want to share with others and the things that they are just naturally predisposed or to be interested in and to spend time on and to work on and to pursue, right? That we're going to see that everybody has something like that, right? Everybody has something that they want to do, that they want to kind of become an expert at. So, and it's in doing that that we build a society, right? Where everyone kind of can get their needs met interdependently, right? Where the person that really wants to make pottery gets to make pottery, and the person that wants to be the medical intuitive is the medical intuitive, and the person that wants to be this or that is this or that. And rather than us looking at some people as more special and less special and gurus and not gurus, we just look and say, no, we're interdependent, right? We're using the gifts of each other around us, right, to amplify our own lives. And so there's an equality that comes from that, right? There's a kinship that comes from that. There's a understanding that we are all one and we are all unique all at the same time. And so we're not looking to other people to be saviors. We're not looking to other people as though they have something we don't have. We're more or less just looking at them and saying, they are one with me. They have developed a skill that I'm not really interested in developing, and therefore, right, I can go to them and ask them information, but then I have to apply it. I have to use it. I have to do something with it, right? Again, like, someone can make you a beautiful vase, but if you don't bring it home and put flowers in it and put it out, what does it matter, right? It's hidden in a room somewhere. It's still you taking it, okay? And so that's kind of something to sort of start to look at, is that rather than looking at people as being gurus or saviors or having something you don't have, just think of it more like we all have different talents and skills that we're interested in and that we're predisposed to have as individual fractals of the all, right? We're not all the same, but none of us are better or worse than the other, okay? And then the second thing is that with the kind of guru thing, right? The real issue that I have with it, the issue that I take with it is not necessarily that we think other people are great and that they have special skills and all of these things, because like I say, I'm totally fine with acknowledging that. The thing that I think we need to move past as a consciousness is simply this idea that the guru status demeans us, right? That it takes away our power, and it takes away our autonomy, and it takes away our personal responsibility in our lives, right? That we still have this guru syndrome of there's something lacking in me that someone else outside of me is going to fix for me, right? And that's where the guru syndrome is getting us a little havocy, right? So like I say, it's totally fine to go to a medical medium and have them tell you something about your body that you then take and say, okay, I'm going to start to learn how to tune in and tap into my own body, right? I'm going to take my power back. I'm gonna more or less, do what the medical medium does rather than following the medical medium, okay? So this is kind of the message of this video, is that if there's someone out there that you're kind of idolizing or guruizing, right? Start to realize that part of what that is that you're handing your power away, okay? You're saying this person is special and unique and has something that I don't have. And that's disempowering, and that's not true, okay? The second thing I would say is when you're guruizing somebody, there's a good possibility that whatever skill or talent or thing that you're seeing in them that you're thinking is so special is probably something that's lying dormant within you, okay? So like if you're like fascinated by a medical medium, for instance, right? Perhaps that's because that's a skill you need to develop inside yourself, right? You need to learn how to tap into your own body. You need to learn how to take responsibility for your own health. You need to start saying, okay, if this person can read that about me, I could read that about me, right? Maybe you don't necessarily become a medical medium and do this for other people, but you can have that skill inside yourself. They're teaching you an autonomous thing, right? We should not become reliant upon other people, all right? That is the main message of this, is that it's not about becoming reliant upon someone or something outside of yourself. It's not about saying they have something I don't have, and now I'm going to have to go back to them over and over and over again, right? In order to figure out what's going on with me. We need to start taking responsibility, okay? So there are specialists, there are people that do things, there are people that have things to offer. We don't want to get rid of those people. That's awesome, okay? But we don't want to throw all our power away onto anyone or anything, okay? We really, especially when it comes to our own psychology, our own finding our path in the world, our own health, anything that has to do with our own path of integration and expansion, we can't abdicate that onto anyone else. There is no guru that can do that for you. And rather than following someone, right? Rather than following the guru, follow what the guru does, right? Live the life the guru lives. Start to adopt the consciousness that the guru has. Start to, right? If you're gonna follow anyone, follow them in that way, right? Don't follow them as they have something I don't, and I'm gonna get it by being around them, right? That's not how it works. Follow it by saying, okay, they have something that I'm interested in, right? I'm idolizing this thing. Okay, what do they do? How do they live, right? What are they pursuing? I read a quote the other day by my teacher from Vancouver, Reno, and he teaches at the Dharma Temple in Vancouver, BC, Canada. If you're ever going to go there, best place to go. Awesome teacher. Where he said, he said, seek what the master sought, don't seek the master. And I think that's really where we need to start moving. Okay, it's that we can edify each other, right? We can inspire each other. If there is someone in your life or someone in your reality that you're looking at, and you're looking at their level of mastery, and you're thinking, wow, that's amazing, I could never have that. That's not true. You absolutely can, and you absolutely could. It's just an interest thing. It's how much you're going to pursue that, okay? And you may or may not have a predisposition to that thing, but that whether or not you do doesn't really matter, because it's all one thing. And then next thing to think is just, I'm gonna do what that person did, right? I'm gonna live the life that person lives. I'm gonna treat myself the way that person treats themselves. I'm gonna treat my interests and my natural skills and my natural capacities with the same respect and vigor and importance that they did, right? I'm gonna pursue what they pursued, which was themselves, right? Anybody out there who's got a level of mastery in whatever they're doing, none of them were overnight successes. None of them were born that way. And I think that we kind of trick ourselves into thinking that that's a thing, okay? And it really isn't. People who have mastery practiced. They got obsessed with something, and they dedicated themselves to it, right? They allowed it to be something that really dominated their consciousness, and they worked and worked and worked and worked and worked at it, right? And so that is really what it takes. And so I understand why we kind of want to have gurus, right? Because we don't really want to do that work. We don't really want to pursue the thing. We don't want to pursue what the master is pursuing. We want to just follow the master because we think that's easier. But it isn't, okay? It really isn't. It makes you dependent upon something that's not reliable, right? Because the medical medium isn't always going to be there for you to tell you what's going on. The health coach isn't always going to be there for you. The spiritual guide isn't always going to be there for you. At some point, you're still going to have to take responsibility for yourself. You're still going to be in a situation where you're going to have to figure out the answer, right? Where you're going to have to take the skills that the guru gives you and use them, right? So look at it more like, what are they doing? How are they living? How can I model that, right? If there's going to be anything that I follow, it's how they live and what they pursued and how they pursued what they pursued, and then applying that to your own life. And then with these personal things, right? Maybe you're never going to become a potter and you're always going to need a potter, but with your body and your mind and your spirituality, all that stuff, that's your responsibility, okay? No one can do that for you, and you have to learn to do that for yourself. And so go to the gurus who will teach you how to become masterful at that within, not relying on them, okay? So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave those down below. Like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. Join us in Patreon. We meet 3 times a month, and it's really great and really fun and super supportive. And if you have any video requests, send them my way, and I'll see you later.